In this video, I'll show you how to make your own custom line type in Autocad. So to begin with, you need to kind of design a pattern to base your line type off of. So in my drawing right here, I have two examples. The first pattern incorporates text in just a regular line. And the second one, I just took two arcs to make this kind of wave-like feature. The key point is, if your pattern contains text, you have to make sure that it isn't a multi-line text, which in this case it is, but rather just a text object. And to make it a text object, if you have multi-line text, you can use the explode command. So if I highlight this and click or type in X and then press enter, you can see that this multi-line text now converts into a text object. So let's use this example first and then we'll go on to this one. So let's make a new line out of this. So the command is MKLTYPE. I'll click it, and essentially you're creating a line type file. So let's name this file as text line. In my YouTube example folder, I'll click enter to save, and then it's asking me for the line type name. Again, we'll use text line. It's going to ask for a description. I'll call it text line. And then it asks to specify the start, and then it'll ask again the endpoint for your pattern. So I have my grid snaps on, which helps me. So I'll pick my start point right here, and I'll pick my endpoint right here. And lastly, it's asking for me to select the objects that represent my pattern, which is this text object and this line object. See, if I didn't convert this text from a multi-line text to a text, I would have trouble selecting that, and you can test it out yourself, or take my word for it. So now that I have both these objects selected, I'll click enter, and then my line is created. So I can see that right here. If I go down to my line type manager, I can see that my new line type appears. I can select it, I can draw a new line, and then you'll see that I have my new line here. So let's go to the second example, because if you're using any geometry other than a straight line, there's a caveat to it, just like with the multi-line text needing to be converted to a text object before you can make a line. So again, if you're using any geometry such as an arc, which is not a line, you need to convert that entire geometry into a shapefile before you make it into a line. And this is how you do it. So I'll select my entire geometry. I'll use the command MKSHAPE to make this shape. And again, it's a file, it's a shape file that you're creating, which I'm going to be saving into my YouTube example folder. I'll call this Geo. I'll name the shape Geo. The resolution I'll leave as is, so I'll click enter. And then I'll specify the base point to be right here. And then I need to select the objects that make my shape, which are these two arcs. And see how it's picking it up? And I'll click enter for that to save. And now I have the shape. So what I'll do now is if I type in the shape command and type in Geo, which is the name of the shape I just created, you'll see that I have it here for me to place anywhere in my drawing. And I'll just place it below the initial wave right here. And I'll leave the height as 1. I don't want to rotate it, so I'll click enter, and then there I have it. So now with this shape object, I can actually create a line out of that. So I'm going to go MKLTYPE. Again, create this new line, which I'll call GeoLine. I'll save it. Enter the line type name, leave it as GeoLine. Description, leave it as GeoLine. And then specify the start and end point. So I'll specify this to be my start point, this to be my end point, and then select the shape to be my object right here. And then just for kicks, I'll show you what happens if you didn't convert this into a shape. See how this highlights, but if I try and click on these two arcs, it won't actually register anything. See how it's thinking that I'm clicking on something, but it's still registering one total, i.e. that one shapefile that I clicked at the beginning. So that's why you need to convert any geometries other than a line into a shape before you can convert it to a line. Anyways, so I specify the objects. I'm going to click enter. Boom, my geoline is now created. And once again, if I go up to my line type manager, I can see it's there. I can select it. I can draw a line. And there you have it.